I've Stratford, Ontario, Canada. I will be careful here with this, but this is my backyard. It's small, but it's mighty, like me. Um, and I was just over on my Periscope and was taking questions and thoughts because we're trying to do this every day, right? We're trying to come up live and have a little conversations and you know, thinking about some of the aspects of martial arts and learning and applying the things we learn to other areas of life and all that kind of stuff, which is what we love to do, right? And so while I was on Periscope, I thought I would gather a few questions, but I'll be happy to see any that pop up down here as well, and we can talk about them. Some really interesting stuff. I was talking to a kid named Quadre who he told me that he is. Autistic, which is very interesting. So he thinks a little different than you and many people you know. Yo, Mr. Black, any good martial arts books you've been reading? As a matter of fact, I was going to do um, a book recommendation today, but then I got caught up in different questions and thoughts. So I promise I'll do one tomorrow. I'll bring a couple of books to talk about. But yeah, this young guy was chatting on my channel, and then he started talking. A really interesting thinker and a really driven martial artist, and we were talking about the idea of how you build a fighter, and that idea made me think right away, well, it's exactly the same as how you build you, as how you build anyone. He was mentioning you've got John Jones and he's very long and he uses that kick to keep you at distance. And then that kick leads into some other things as you push hard forward. He could wrestle you or clinch you, which are areas. So he starts forcing parts of the fight to go into areas where he is dominant. And he shoehorns you into places. Now, he's never lost a fight. Well, there's an official loss, but he's never lost a fight. Um, but he's got other areas of his life. And that got me to thinking as you start to find the key things to structure. I'm sorry if that was cut there. That seems to be happening here. My apologies if there was a little cut. But hello, idea of building a fighter and building your skills and your attributes in such a way as to bring you victory. We use John Jones as an example. The long kick to the leg and the thigh gets you to have to move forward. When you move forward, he could wrestle you, he could clinch you, and he starts shoehorning everything into ways that it works. And you can do that with life. If he's got victory, say, in life may not look the same as in a fight where you beat somebody. Victory in life could be serenity or calmness or happiness or stability, right? Or it depends what you're looking for. But if he's looking for those things, he will find them in the same way that he builds his fighting style. If you need to meditate some more, everything isn't all one thing. It's a slow improvement of things. And if you need to meditate more, you meditate more. If you need to work with addictions, you work with your addictions. You do the things necessary to slowly structure the human in such a way that they will be successful. And it was an interesting topic because we think about that. I was speaking also with my friend Alex Ponovich yesterday. Alex is an actor. You've seen him in a lot of stuff. He's in Van Helsing right now, and we were chatting about Tyson Fury, and about Tyson Fury winning that last fight, and the game of deciding to be incredibly elusive touch is a skill that you had to start working on 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. A stylistic skill, a series of choices that you have to start building to be able to make it work on that night, right? And that Quadrex says Tyson Fury is fascinating. He is fascinating. That idea that the win when I win the fight on Saturday night um, against Wilder, that win isn't as so much only about Saturday night and what you did. It's about the choices you made weeks ago, months ago, and years ago. And that's really important to think about that, because that's true of your next job and how your relationship looks in the future. The autism is a gift with martial arts. Every move you see kind of ends up in the subconscious with ability to use in split second without continually practicing it, from the autistic Jedi. Very interesting. I agree. A lot of interesting topics today. We're going to see how they can all blend together. Um, because autism, as I understand it, is a slightly different um, what's the interface with reality, right? We all have different ways that we interface with the world around us, the way that we interpret things, the way our relationship with things and with people and moving and ourselves and our bodies and our understanding. We all do. And it's not too difficult to see how different everybody can see the world. Marijuana is legal in Canada. When you smoke it, you then have a slightly different way that you're looking at the world. If you're really tired, if you're distracted, if you're hungry, you see throughout the day all these different ways that you look. So autism is somebody's filter, somebody's relationship with the world around them is different than ours, and that's fascinating. And I like anytime something is different, when people say, like the autistic Jedi just did there, that it's a gift, that's really, really key. I'm 5'6". That's not tall. It's not short. It's short. I'm a shorter man. I would be a diminutive man, not the shortest, but the size that I am is directly created the life that I live. Directly created it. I've made certain choices. I'm good at certain things. It's a gift. It's a gift. Also, I don't know what it would be like to be 6'9" or 4'10". I don't know. But if I see this whatever thing I have is my thing, you build your life around it, right? I was a really good gymnast as a kid, and that led. This is the body type of a gymnast, right? So I just got that. Now, and that happened that I really liked gymnastics, and which led me to loving martial arts, which has led me to my entire job. There's people sitting here right now hanging out with me because I study martial arts and because of the things that I've learned from that. So it's a gift. All the things, and people say, "Oh, your gift." So that's his music ability is a gift. Everything's a gift. Having autism helps under pressure. It's like the army. Acting under pressure without panicking. That's very interesting. So I'm going to go way off today. We're tangenting all over the place. And a lot of people like that. A lot of people who don't like that don't watch my channel. So that's why I've started to embrace these things. This is a weird tangent here, but people will say, if you want more followers, you should be more concise. The secret is I don't want more followers. I want these ones, the ones who actually find interest in the things that I'm interested in. And in the way that we should all think. We should all think about how we want to live our lives and not customize it in some other. Now, I'm also very fortunate. I don't need to make money from YouTube. All the little things I do together make me generally enough to survive or better and do the things that I love. So I'm fucking happy, right? If I were to do this differently, just Ellie says, how's everyone today? If we were to talk differently, I would have a different audience. I would say different things. I would explore different things. It would change my own thinking. I don't want to do that. I want to change my thinking, but I want to self-correct it and self-direct it. I want to think the way that I want to think. If you start changing yourself, I'm sorry, I'm way down this rabbit hole. If you start changing yourself because you want more likes or clicks or to get a particular job in a particular way, you're not necessarily doing yourself a service. I'm going to use a story here. I don't know exactly how to tell it because it hasn't all sorted itself out in my mind yet. But thank you, Autistic Jedi. Thank you, Robin. I find you very inspiring. I love the way you look at everything and do it with philosophical, critical thinking. Thanks, man. That means a lot to me. I'll follow you after the Autistic Jedi. Autistic Jedi. So if you asked me 4 years ago, so right now I do have a number of different work. Much of it doesn't exist right now, because my commentary jobs, there's no commentary. So that doesn't exist. I've got some commentary jobs I love, like Letway in Southeast Asia and Eris Fighting Championships, which is amazing. I'll post a couple of clips from Eris Fighting on my Instagram today. So those jobs are on hold. And then I was supposed to be doing some commentary for television for the Olympics, and that's on hold. But sort of my day-to-day job right now is Bellator, right? I'm doing a chat every day with Bellator. So much of YouTube is driven by likes and clicks. This is organic, and that's why I'm here. Wow, thanks. Hello, Robin and everyone. Hope all is well and everyone's in high spirits. I hope the same, James. So Bellator ends up being kind of my root thing right now. I also do a little UFC coverage for TSN, which right now for Sports Center, but that doesn't exist right now. So much of my day is taken with Bellator, which is great. I fucking love Bellator. I'm not, that's my route today, which is awesome, but it was my route a couple of months ago, even when I was doing those other things. That happened because I didn't change myself 3 or 4 years ago to find just the right things and send just the right emails and change myself in just the right way to end up doing getting, staying or working within the UFC system as they slowly direct you into how they want you to speak. And then later you end up there not being your authentic self. Instead, I grew in the direction that I did and ended up exactly where I should be. Working, analyzing Bellator is exactly where I should be. Exactly where I should be. And that happened because I didn't change and find just the right, like I said, there's a temptation sometimes to find the right email to send to the right boss to make them see you in the way they want to see you so that you can act more like they want you to act so that you can end up with a job. I thought that was the job I wanted 3 or 4 years ago, but now I know I'm exactly where I should be. And that's by not saying, when people say, hey, if you want more followers, you should do this. It's like, no, you shouldn't. You don't want more followers. You want the right people to spend time with that you bring some value to by doing your authentic thing. That's what you want. Randy, hi, Robin. I'm autistic. It's a different perception, not a different operating system, not a broken PC, but a Mac. Yes, yes. It's a different interface, a different way. I wish everyone saw our autism that way. Miss you. Hope you guys are good. Well, thanks, Randy. I hope you're good too. I hope that the way I'm saying it the same as you, and I feel like I am. So I think I see it that way. So which is really neat. It's really, really neat. You're very lucky. And I mean, we all are lucky. We're lucky we're this thing, the thing that we are. Anthony, you're the man, Robin. Do you have any good bag training videos? Also, shout out to Sixer Kickboxing in Woodbridge. What up, Sixer Kickboxing? I'm going to be training with Fifth Round Martial Arts tonight in Stratford on Zoom. But shout out to Six. Thank you, my friend. Learning from your positive things every day. Thanks, brother. True, Bellator is back at Strike Force level, but more modern. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, way more modern. Would you work for the UFC? Would I? I still do some, like I do stuff, but this is where I belong for sure. I'm glad I still get to cover it for Canada, and I'm thrilled. I'm honored. Um, but I'm definitely where I should be right now. It's like that one saying, quality over quantity. Love your content. Very inspiring. My son asked me, thank you guys. My son asked me who wins in a fight being in their prime, Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson. Your thoughts? I tend to usually move towards the more modern, has so many general upgrades in process, but that's a weird one because if you don't hit early prime Ali might not get hit by Tyson, and if he didn't for 3 or 4 rounds, he would finish him. God, I miss you and your insight on the Fight Network so much. Still in touch with John Pollock and John Ramdeen. Sorry if you've been asked this already. Thank you. I loved working there. I'll tell you a little story about that and how that unfolded too. We're at storytelling time. This is just a stream of thought day today. But yes, I called John Ramdeen last night, but he wasn't there, just to catch up. And Pollock and I had a couple of texts when I was in Connecticut the other day. Always be you, organic is best. Thanks, Autistic Jedi. Which MMA fighter inspires you? Man, they all do. Even, the people who are driven and hardworking and have to work so hard to create their life all inspire me. That's what I'm interested in. And everybody, people who are authentically them. Dana White is fucking authentically Dana White, for example. I like the guy. I do. And I find him interesting. People keep asking my opinion on, whether they should do Tony versus Khabib, which sounds like there's even more challenges. My opinion, I don't even care about my own opinion. I really don't. I don't. I'm trying not to form one, and I'm trying to just look at truths as much as possible. Now, I'm human, so I will fail in that endeavor, but that's the goal. But I don't really care what my opinion is of it. What I find interesting is watching Dana White, this fucking driven dude, just try to problem solve his way through it and try to make it happen. I find that really interesting. I'm not sure it will happen, but when the new challenges start, and now it's Khabib might be out, and he's like, well, fuck it, we're doing this. We're doing this. We're going to make this, get another guy. That's just crazy now. But what you're watching is a guy who's authentically just maniacally driven. And that's really cool. There are good and bad that come with that. Of course there are. There's all kinds of success. There's anxiety. There's good relationships and bad relationships, but it's somebody being them. It's somebody being authentically them. So I find that really interesting. But I find people who are authentically themselves really, really interesting. Um, Authentically now, we're all gonna like have way crazier like hair and people who have nice eyebrows. This I don't know if people know this. Like more than 19 out of 20 people who work in television, guys who work in television, will have something done to fucking sort this stuff out. Because for whatever reason, again, you want to be as authentically you as possible within the realm of what you're willing to fight over. Do you think having been a successful musician is part of the reason you are authentic and don't follow the standard model? I'll get to that and answer in a second. It's so great. I appreciate the sentiment. What are you going to fight over? If you were like somebody who's like, I'm not fucking shaving and I'm not gonna, do my eyebrows, like, or get your teeth done. I didn't get my teeth done. They're just my teeth. But if how important is the thing to me? Is it something I really want to do and I'm willing to get all my teeth done? Then I do it. And if I'm not, then be you. Therefore, it's an interesting one. I'm very much about like sticking with your thing. Eyebrows are at least 50% the look of your face. It's a big part of it. But anyways, most people on TV get their eyebrows done. They ain't getting them done now. So that's going to be really neat. People are going to look a lot different. Um, who's that asshole who was the original Me Too guy, the direct producer? That guy's in jail now. Um, I forget that guy's name, but you know the guy. I mean, the worst guy. Um, he's now like on a walker and all that kind of stuff. If Khabib, my eyebrows have their own mind. If Khabib can't fight Ferguson, but the UFC wants to keep the card intact, who would you want? It's not who I want right now. It's like who is available, like who can do this. That's where we're at. Who can do this if that's what they want to do? Um, but anyways, that Harvey Weinstein, yeah, Harvey Weinstein, that guy, when he's in jail, he's on a walker and he looks like shit. That's really what he looks like. Like a lot of people would say, "Oh, he's doing it for sympathy and stuff." Harvey Weinstein, yes, he's doing it for sympathy. No, that's what the guy looks like when you take away his personal trainer. And yes, he looked terrible, but he looks worse now because this is what he looks like. But then he applied a bit of training whenever he was willing to do it. A person to cook for him with high quality food. He probably took all these anti-aging drugs that the rich people take, and was on like whatever that stuff is, um, uh, replacement therapy, right? All this hormones and all this shit, and then now you go to jail and the 7 anti-aging drugs that he takes are gone. His person cooking for him is gone. Whoever's coming in to like fucking fix his shoulder and all his shit, they're all gone. That's what he looks like right now. That's what the guy looks like. Because that's what happens when you take that away. So a lot of these people are going to look a lot different. Um, Adenochrome. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to look it up. Adenochrome. It's okay to not know stuff, but if you are interested in it, go look it up. Oh, somebody asked about Fight Network. There was something else somebody just asked me about, and I said I would answer it. Oh, musician. I think being an artist, I think everyone is an artist. And it is how much of an artist? How much have you worked on the artist gene or the artist code or the artistic aspects of your mind? How creative are you? How much of the structure do you follow specifically, and how much do you are you? How much do you think? How much of the structure do you follow specifically, and how much do you just disperse? I remember, if you think about anything, the first thing that comes into your mind is so often the same thing that's the first thing that come into everybody's mind. That's why when you look on Twitter and there's a certain thing and there's like a 1,000 comments very similar, same location or whatever the meme of the time is, that's a reflection of the first thing that came in and they typed it. And now thousands of people have that. Thousands of people. That's the thing you have to learn, that's not the one. And then over time, when you do sort of get rid of that knee-jerk reaction to just say the same thing as everybody else, eventually your first thought isn't the same as everybody else's. Eventually your first thought is your real first thought, not the societal first thought, not the one you've been trained to think. Do you think people that are celebrities have to make a false perception of themselves from media? Stephen Hawking was my favorite artist. That is such a fucking great sentence right there. That's really cool. I don't think anyone has to do anything. It's what are you willing to do? I found that I was not willing to fall too deeply into really, really structured systems. So if you had to like act a certain way, or you had to like run, this sort of what feels very inauthentic kind of, hierarchical thing where you have to treat these guys, kiss these guys' asses just right to get this thing. My feeling was, if you do that and it changes you, it'll you'll move away from what you could become. But if you ask Jocko, if you follow Jocko, he's a brilliant ex-military guy. He's very inspiring. I like Jocko very much. Jocko will say, this is your boss. This is the hierarchy. This is the structure. Here's the rules of how, if you're told this, do it. And I'm just fascinated by it because it's really him, because he came from the military. Whereas for me, if I'm doing, if I believe that I'm doing the best, let's say breakdown. That's what I do. I'm analyzing video that I believe is meaningful. And somebody comes to me and says, I want you to just say knockout power in both hands, striker versus grappler. So you're a purist. I don't think I am. I'm just a this. And I'll say to them, I know that's wrong. I shouldn't be saying that. You shouldn't structure me to talk exactly the same as all the other people, because why would you need me? Why do you want me to do that? Why will you turn me into the same thing? I don't want that. I had producers say, have you thought about taking voice lessons? Now, years later, the fact that my voice is very different but very mine is a big part of why my stuff is good. But they were like, well, would you take a broadcasting voice training? I'm like, no. And now, I'm not opposed to anything. I would go to learn it. I would take it in, but I'm not going to change this into this. I'm just not going to do that. And now, years later, when everybody who did that all sounds the same, you end up being an individual, and being an individual is valuable to you, right? Whatever it is you do, being you is the best part. Trying to be just like Dan Rather is a mistake, but it's a mistake that many made. And then later on, 2020, 2024, whatever, you are you, and you finally find your way to do it. That's what I believe in. My wife and my dog are just going there, and he's being cute. And I think that's the goal. And I think if you do it the hard way, the easy way might be to do the thing that'll get you a little more of the it'll fit in the mainstream right now. You can go and do it exactly the way that everybody else is doing it, and you might end up in there. But the long way will pay off more. It'll be hard at first. People make fun of you. Why are you talking about those things? You're always rambling, but ultimately you'll be different, and you'll be different your own way. And just being different's not valuable, but being you, being your authentic different is. Hey, Robin, you're a beacon of inspiration and sanity because you're sort of a day walker, but you're successful but grounded. You're successful but grounded. Thanks, man. So kind. Jose, and also my question is, what do you do when you're overthinking and are experiencing a creative block? I just do something. I write something. Now, it depends what your creative thing is. I was doing this morning with a breakdown. I do fail breakdowns. I do one a week with my friends at Fail Army. I was doing this morning, and I literally just started writing, and it worked. You just start doing. Stop thinking. Start doing. Also, going for a walk seems to really help. Going for a walk really, really helps. If you can do that, if you're in a city, maybe you don't want to do that right now. But I remember when you used to give out predictions that were eerily accurate, i.e. home and Rousey. Now you give open-minded predictions that respect fighters in the sport. That's how I can really tell. Open-ended, yeah. I was very accurate a lot of the time. Probably it was weird for a while. But then I started reading deeply about prediction, the act of prediction. There's something called super forecasting, which is people are able to, now you wouldn't have been able to forecast and here's the flaw, right? A super forecaster could say, these are the things that are get run in 2016 by taking in as much information as possible of all the varying important things. They could predict the economy in 2020. And the greatest are really fucking good at it, but they wouldn't. Here's the black swan event. All of a sudden COVID-19 hits and the economy tanks. Impossible to predict that. And with that fact right there, there's a related black swan event, many of them possible in every single fight, which makes it really silly to be predicting. You do it I was doing it because I really believed. I started thinking about that I could see the future, and it's like no one can see the future. What you're saying is nonsensical. Even if you're right 7 times out of 10, that means you're wrong 3 times out of 10. Um, uh, how much? I missed a few questions. So, how much do you love fighting? A lot. Pizzagate is real. No, it isn't. I can do just about all the Family Guy voices. Cleveland Brown is my favorite. That's cool. Do them a lot. And then make a Instagram page or a Facebook page about it. Mauro Ranallo is definitely different, but he's the man. Agreed. Mauro is a very, very unique character, and I like him very much. I've worked with him. I've worked with him a bunch of times. It's a pleasure. Hey, Robin, thoughts on Ashley Evans and her boyfriend stealing medical supplies? You don't need my thoughts on that. I think we all have. But at the same time, we shouldn't necessarily judge people. Like the weird behavior that somebody does in 1 second of not thinking should not. That doesn't reflect who they are for the rest of eternity. It just doesn't. Was it a shitty thing to do? Fucking rights. But does that mean that they are evil people forever? No, they had one stupid moment where it just maybe they didn't even think, So we judging people, we don't need to do it. But at the same time, we're going to judge that pretty badly. So because we're humans, can you tell us the different satisfaction between your music career and fighting and training career? Creatively, both are amazing. They both perform, but fighting is so much more high stakes. What style of commentary do you prefer, Rogan's or Annex? Not to say anyone's better, but what do you prefer? I like them together. And I think that's the key. I work really well with an Annex type too. Um, you know, um, I worked with, so we've got something coming out with Bellator probably in the next, I'd say 48 hours called The Dose. It's a show that I do with Jay Glazer in LA. I don't know when I do it next. It'll be a while, but I work really well with Jay. That anchor guy and I think Anek's awesome. Now Joe's my guy, right? Joe's my friend and he's a mentor and he's done a lot for me. But Anek's a good friend too. Anek's the best there's ever been at that particular kind of role. So I like them together. Robin, did you put gel in your hair or is it naturally standing straight up? So the haircut that I get makes it do that. But I also, all I do is when I'm like stringing it out, I just put a little hairspray in my hair and go like that. Just Mauro's the greatest commentator. He's great. A Black Robin event. Robin, did you just put gel? Black Swan event? Nah, Black Robin event. I'm just taking questions now, and then I'm gonna wrap up. You guys, this has been really fun today. I really appreciate you guys. Please share this. After, if you would. I know not everyone's gonna like it because it's different, but it's fun hanging with you guys. Robin, should Ferguson fight someone else? That's up to him. I don't know if that should even be going on, but I respect their obsession with trying to make it happen. David Ilk seems to predict some things, but yeah. I meant the way you've changed your prediction habits is how I can really tell how much you love fighting. Oh, cool. Thanks. Do you think John Jones being judged too hard? Yeah, I do. He's just a human, and we all fail, right? Robin's prediction analysis is more fun than Dan Hardy's. Hey, Dan's my guy. It's just different, right? A lot of people prefer him too. So, are you friends with Boss Rutan? And are you still close with him? He seems like a good dude. I really like Boss. I one time smashed his kid's ear and it exploded in blood and pus shot all over Boss Rutan. He's a really good dude. I'm going to text him. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but I'm going to text him. Robin Black is the best. Thank you. I'll show up every day for a live chat. Thanks. Seriously, now I believe this fight is cursed. Absolutely love these videos. Much respect. Thanks, Quadrex. Robin, who do you think will fight sooner, TJ Dillashaw or Cody Garbrandt? Ooh, maybe they'll fight each other. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I'd pay to watch you and Dan Hardy break down big upcoming fights. Hey, maybe Dan and I were going to do a podcast together. I'll reach out to him. Maybe we can do something. Got to go, but I'll be back tomorrow. This is 30 minutes today. I said I was going to do 20, but I have a feeling it's going to get longer. But thank you, guys. Sorry for my meandering, but that's what I do. If you know anyone else who likes meandering, please share this with them. And watch for my interview with Emmanuel Sanchez on Bellator platforms later. And if you want a t-shirt that says Flim Flam or Enjoy the Hostilities or Hot Lava and Flim Flam, I'm going to put them on sale because I got so many left. Or Bink, I got them. It's at shoprobinblack.com. Please follow me on Instagram at Robin Black Martial Arts, on Twitter at Robin Black MMA, on LinkedIn. I should make a Facebook video page too. I'll get to that later this week. You gotta live. We're still human. Okay, much love. Gotta go. Bye. Blackout.